You all know the Batman who laughs, but do you know about his army of other Dark Knights from the Dark Multiverse? Who are the Dark Knights exactly? Welcome back, my fellow Nerd Squad. Today we're going to be visiting the alternate Earths belonging to the Dark Multiverse to learn more about just who the Batman who laughs' Dark Knights are and where they came from. They're a group of alternate versions of Batman who were brought together by the Batman who laughs under the order of his good old friend Barbatos, the Bat God. Batman who laughs intended to use the Dark Knights as a weapon against the main continuity, and today we're going to learn just why he chose to recruit these specific villains and why they're so terrifying. Be sure to stick around to the end of this list where I will have some bonus content coming your way in the form of comment responses. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe and ring-a-ling our bell, cause you know I love it when you do. Alright, now let's get counting. Number 10. B-Rex. With Dark Knight's death metal underway, we have been introduced to the second string of Dark Knights. Among them is the weird and awesome B-Rex. We don't know that much about B-Rex yet, as he only made his first appearance in Dark Knight's death metal recently in June, dinosaur version of Batman from the Dark Multiverse, and we'll be learning more about his origins and how he came to be in Dark Knight's death metal Legends of the Dark Knights issue number 1, which is set to release in August. Jeez, that's a long title. Number 9. BATRIGAN. Once again, another character who has only made his first appearance in Dark Knight's Death Metal issue 1. And this one doesn't even really have a name, but he does appear to be a mashup of characters Etrigan and Batman, so we can assume he's some kind of alternate demon version of Batman from the Dark Multiverse. And I like the name BATRIGAN, so let me know if you also think that that might be a good name. Perhaps this version of Batman made some kind of deal with the Prince of Hell in his own alternate universe, which resulted in Bruce becoming bound to the demon instead of Jason Blood. Regardless of how crazy his backstory ends up being, the character looks pretty cool, with horns in place of bat ears shooting out of his cowl. He and Cthulhu Batman are two that I just cannot wait to learn more about and meet formally, whatever their names are, or whatever we're gonna call them. What do we call Cthulhu Batman? Batman with tentacles? Number 8. The BATMAGE. Have you ever wondered what an evil warlock version of Batman would look like? Well, wonder no more. We now have the BATMAGE. In Dark Knight Death Metal issue number 1, BATMAGE makes his first appearance. He is the one who is made to watch over Wonder Woman and make sure that she is serving their master, the Batman who laughs, well. I'm hoping we get to see even more of BATMAGE and all the potential magic tricks he has up his sleeves. Combining Batman's brilliant detective mind with magical powers sounds like it should make for one powerful character. Number 7. The Drowned. All the versions of Batman that we got in the original Dark Knights group were meant to be alternate versions of not just Batman but various Justice League members. The Drowned is obviously the stand-in for Aquaman, or Aquawoman really. The Drowned is Bryce Wayne, a female alternate of Bruce Wayne who comes from the Earth -11. The non-Dark Multiverse version of Earth 11 is home to the gender-bent alternates of our Justice League, such as Superwoman, Batwoman, Aquawoman, and of course, Wonder Man. Number 6. The Red Death. The Red Death is obviously our alternate version of the Flash, our evil Bat Flash, if you will. Of course, instead, he goes by the Red Death. Red Death comes to us from the Dark Multiverse's version of Earth 52, known as Negative Earth 52, basically alternate Prime Earth. The Red Death came about after Batman felt he was not fast enough to prevent crimes and that it was his speed that was letting him down. This version of Bruce Wayne had a pretty serious ego, which made him believe that he would actually be better suited to wield the powers of the Speed Force than the Flash himself. He ended up defeating the Flash's villains and siphoning their powers for his own use in battle against the Flash. Winning, Batman received the Flash's powers and used them to go on a killing spree, eliminating all the criminals and villains in Gotham. Dark Multiverse styles. Number 5. The Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker is Bruce Wayne of Earth -32. After his parents were killed, he was instead chosen to become the next Green Lantern, finding himself selected by a Green Lantern ring. He agreed to join, but only because he saw the ring as a means to get his revenge. His will was actually so strong he was able to bend the rules of the ring's power, corrupting it and using it as a weapon against Joe Chill, killing Chill and completing his act of revenge. When the Green Lanterns attempted to apprehend Dawnbreaker after he killed not just his parents' murderer, but also many of Gotham's criminals, he killed the Lantern Corps members and the Guardians of the Universe. Wow. Number 4. The Murder Machine. After the brutal death of Alfred, the Batman of Earth 44 of the Dark Multiverse feels intense guilt. He believed that Alfred's death was his fault and began to doubt his abilities. Following Alfred's funeral, he recruits the help of Cyborg to build an AI version of Alfred, a project they they call the Alfred Protocol. The Alfred Protocol is programmed to keep Batman safe, which ends up causing the AI to take out all of Batman's villains, eliminating them before turning on Batman himself. Alfred Protocol believes that Batman is too weak to protect himself and so turns him into a robotic version of himself and removes his ability to feel fear and sadness, believing that this is the best way to protect Bruce Wayne. Bruce and the Alfred Protocol then merged and continued on their rampage of death, becoming the Murder Machine, believing everyone to be a threat to Bruce's life. Can we call it a life if he's a robot? I guess it's still a robot life, still counts. Number 3. The Devastator. In order to put a stop to Superman, who was going on a killing spree, Batman was forced to enact a contingency plan. He happened to have some doomsday virus on hand, which he kept in case of an emergency. In case, he needed to take out Superman. When the League failed to defeat Kal-El, Bruce was forced to ingest a version of this virus in order to do so himself. His plan worked and he was able to eliminate Superman, but at the cost of the very world he'd been trying to protect, which rapidly became infected and obliterated by the Doomsday virus as it spread. Number 2. The Merciless. One of the best character designs by far among the Dark Knights belongs to the Merciless. This is the version of Bruce who represents Wonder Woman on the Justice League team. He took up the mantle after fighting in an epic war against the god Ares alongside Diana. When she fell, he took up the fight in her name. The twist is that she only fell because he actually killed her. After Batman and Wonder Woman had defeated Ares, Bruce reached out to take Ares' helmet and with it his power, but he sensed that Diana would prevent him from doing so and knew that she would have to be eliminated if he wanted to wield that power. Hence he took up Ares' helmet and fought on in Diana's memory, becoming the Merciless. Number 1. The Batman Who Laughs. The Batman Who Laughs is both the leader of the Dark Knights and is kind of a Dark Knight himself in the beginning in regards to his relationship with Barbatos as his number 2. He is by far the most popular of all the Dark Knights, and as a character and villain quickly rose in popularity since his first appearance in Dark Days The Casting issue number 1. Thank you so much for watching. Who is your favorite Dark Knight? Are you a fan of the Dark Multiverse? Are you following along with the Dark Knights death metal crossover event? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Darkest Moments in Marvel History. Everything's so dark. Edmund Williams comments, "My favorite part of Marvel's Deadpool 2, the movie. Deadpool fought against Cable. You're so dark. Are you sure you're not from the DC universe?" So I actually just recently rewatched the Deadpool movies, and yes, I also love this line. I'm just happy we got to have the glorious awesomeness that is the Deadpool and Cable team up, because those two together are and always will be amazing. Ben Parrish comments, "Charles Xavier is Marvel's biggest villain." Whoa, them's fighting words. I don't know if I'd go that far, but he's definitely a sneaky guy. Because he's a smart guy. And I would kind of love to see him go full villain mode in Dawn of X, become, the newest, biggest bad. I actually thought that might happen when I was reading House/Powers of X, but we haven't seen it yet. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your thoughts and your feels shouted out in a future video. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight. You stay nerdy, YouTube. They are a group of alternate Batman. Batman? One of them's a woman. An alternate group of bat people? Barbatos, the bat god. I said it Barbados. Barbatos. Tos. I can't say it like the place. Earth Prime? New Earth. Prime Earth.